And as I was telling another gathering, these borders, and I also mentioned to my brother, these borders that you create silos for yourselves amongst, you must always remember, are not your creation. These were creations of people outside of this continent who made these borders not to develop you, but to extract from you. Now that you want to develop yourself, we must start looking at these borders, and we must start removing the barriers that we have put, that have defined us in the past, and now hinder us from being the giant that we should be.
We must not give credibility or credence to the artificial boundaries that exist in our region, a product of a conference in Berlin that had nothing to do with us, that partitioned our continent and allocated us boundaries that have since become roadblocks and impediments and barriers to the movement of people, the movement of goods. And it is our responsibility in this century to tear down the barriers, to convert the boundaries into bridges, to change the roadblocks into stepping stones so that goods, services, ideas, people can move, and we can benefit from the myriad of good ideas in different parts of our continent.
I think by now we must all agree that the talk on African unity has never been more louder than it is now. Most leaders in Africa are all in support of Africa unity. And for someone like me, an African, this is something really great. This is something I think is going to strengthen the African continent and is going to make the African people proud. Africa has a population of about 1.4 billion people. Just imagine this number of people being able to trade with each other. Just imagine this number of people being able to freely move from one country to the other. The exchange of human resources, the exchange of human capital, the exchange of goods and services, the exchange of raw minerals. How great would have benefited the African continent and its people. I always tell people that what the West did in Africa was never for Africans. That what happened in Berlin when they carved out Africa into little tiny pieces was never for Africa. They did that for their own good. They wanted to control Africa. They wanted to share Africa among themselves, not for the Africans. And if you remember clearly, those of you who know your history very well, none of you guys, the African people, were present during this partition. None of them. No one even thought of inviting Africans to be present while their continent was being partitioned. No one thought of it. The Westerners went ahead and carved out Africa for themselves and told us that the boundaries or the borders we now have now are our borders. And then we just accept and move on. And now we go into war with each other about borders. Now we disagree with each other about borders. Borders that were made for us, not that we made for ourselves. You see how the black man has always been at the foot end of everything. They do things they impose on us. It's the same thing with the IMF and the World Bank. They will come to Africa with their loans and they will impose many things on us before giving us their loans. And these loans they give to us, it will take us years and we will be unable to pay it back to them because of high interest rate. And then they would dictate on us what we have to do. And after that, they will say, and we forgave the loan. After we must have paid the interest, just the interest alone on those loans would have been paid 2 times the borrowed amount. Then they will now come and say that because we are friends with Africa, so we forgave the loan. So I am so grateful that Pan-Africanist leaders like William Ruto and the Paul Kagame of Rwanda are now championing African unity. Even Ghana President Nana Akufo-Addo, he also is at the forefront of this African unity. I am so grateful for that. Not leaving out the great Professor P.L.O. Lumumba. He also is a great Pan-Africanist. But you guys out there, what do you think about Africa unity? Do you think it's something that is achievable, is a dream that can come to pass? And if yes, what do you think are some of the benefits that will come as a result of Africa being united? Let us know in the comment section below because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And also, please do not forget to like this video, share this video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel because little bit of goodwill, like the one you're doing just now, help us a lot and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.